This movie is called Renfield, 2023. The story is set in the 20th century and follows a lawyer named Renfield, who goes to another place to sell a man's estate to make a good profit. That man turns out to be none other than Dracula. Renfield does not know that he's Dracula at first, and they develop a friendship. One day, Dracula revives himself because his blood holds such power that it can bring anyone back to life and even heal wounds. Dracula makes Renfield his servant, or rather, his slave. Dracula even grants Renfield some of his powers, turning Renfield's life upside down. He becomes Dracula's servant forever. On one hand, Dracula's powers grow by drinking human blood and eating human flesh, while on the other hand, Renfield's powers are activated by consuming insects, which act as a source for his strength. One day, hunters and people fighting against evil forces come to eliminate Dracula because, as I mentioned earlier, he is not a good being. They trap him in a magical powder circle. Renfield, however, is good at heart, and someone explains to him that he still has his whole life ahead of him, and that if he distances himself from Dracula, he can live a happy life. But Dracula uses his powers to break free from the magical circle. Once free, he controls the people and kills the hunters and those fighting evil forces one by one. However, one hunter manages to survive and directs sunlight onto Dracula, burning him significantly. Because Renfield was Dracula's slave, Dracula commands him to save him and restore him fully. So, Renfield takes Dracula to another city, and they continue to live together for about 95 years. With Renfield's help, Dracula recovers because Renfield hunts humans for him, and by drinking their blood and eating their flesh, Dracula regains his strength. Although Renfield doesn't want to do this, he is forced to because he is trapped by Dracula. One day, Renfield goes to a club where a group gathers to share their troubles. One woman talks about how her husband betrayed her, and Renfield thinks that this bad person is someone he can kill and offer to Dracula. Renfield only wants to harm bad people and doesn't want to hurt the innocent. He goes to the woman's husband, who is a criminal and had recently committed theft. Suddenly, another man appears and attacks the criminal and his associates, killing them one by one. He then attacks Renfield, but Renfield, being braver, defeats the killer. Renfield discovers that this killer was sent by a man named Lobo, who is the son of the city's biggest crime family, a family involved in all sorts of illegal activities. The theft committed by the woman's husband was also connected to this family. Lobo, upon seeing the injured killer, flees, while Renfield takes the killer's body to Dracula. Dracula drinks his blood but spits it out, saying it's from a bad person and that he needs to drink the blood and eat the flesh of good people to fully recover. He orders Renfield to bring him the bodies of good people, or else face death, as only Dracula, who revived Renfield with his blood, can kill him. To frighten Renfield, Dracula even scratches him but heals his wound with his blood, sending him off to bring good people. Lobo is arrested by traffic police, but since his family is very powerful, he is released. The traffic cop is very disheartened by this, and her sister, an FBI agent, is also furious because their father was killed in the line of duty by dangerous people. Both sisters had joined law enforcement to avenge their father and eliminate crime, though their approaches were different, leading to a divide between them. Lobo's family reprimands him for failing at a simple task, warning him that he must be ready to handle responsibilities in the future. Meanwhile, Renfield is at a cafe, looking for prey for Dracula, when the traffic cop arrives for an investigation. Renfield refrains from attacking anyone. Shortly after, Lobo arrives with his men and captures the traffic cop. He taunts her, saying she is trying to become a hero like her father, but she courageously tells him to shoot if he dares. Just as he is about to fire, Renfield intervenes and saves her, leading to a fierce fight in the cafe, during which Lobo flees. Renfield saves everyone, and the traffic cop thanks him for saving her and the innocent people. Renfield feels good about this. He returns to Dracula, who is recovering, and shares his plan to rule the world, become a god, and eradicate humanity, including both good and evil. This horrifies Renfield, as he still values humanity. He confides in his group at the club, saying that his boss has strange plans, though he doesn't reveal that his boss is Dracula. The group advises him to focus on himself rather than his boss, saying that if Renfield grows stronger, his boss won't be able to overpower him. Renfield decides to stop visiting Dracula and finds a new home for himself, decorating it and making it a happy place. He also meets with the traffic cop, whom he has grown fond of, and offers to testify against Lobo. He encourages the traffic cop, telling her that she is an inspiration to others and will eventually succeed in her mission. However, Lobo's mother, having seen Renfield in the cafe footage, sends Lobo to Dracula's base. Dracula kills Lobo's men and captures him. When Lobo says he's only there to capture Renfield, Dracula learns that Renfield is now living among humans and helping them, which infuriates him. Dracula goes to confront Renfield. Initially, Renfield is scared, but then boldly declares that he will no longer serve Dracula, choosing a good life and helping others. Dracula accuses Renfield of acting like he's good, but reminds him that he abandoned his wife and daughter for wealth and fame, and now he will make Renfield's life a living hell. Dracula goes to the club and brutally kills all the members, devastating Renfield. With no other choice, Renfield eats insects to activate his powers and fights Dracula. He remembers all the innocent people Dracula killed, including the club members, and beats Dracula severely, even breaking his sharp teeth. Dracula retaliates, but the traffic cop traps him in a magical circle. Together, they dismember Dracula, storing his powerful blood and scattering his body parts through the water system, believing this would end him for good, though there is a chance Dracula could return. In the end, Lobo's mother is imprisoned, the traffic cop reconciles with her sister, and Renfield begins his new life. The movie ends on this note.